association of Mr. Mishra with IMC goes back to more than 2 decades. When he taught brand advertising about 2 decades ago, his association is still deeper. His wife, Ajiti, happens to be an IMCian, your senior, who passed out from IMC in the early 80s, second or third batch of ADPR. Still deeper. History repeated itself last year when Hemant's son Ishan came to do a course at IMC, and he is working with Discovery Channel now. So it's a deep-rooted association with Hemant, and he's always been very, very magnanimous in always saying, never saying no to a request. He was busy right since morning, but then he's been able to make it. Thank you so much, Hemant, for that. Now, the subject matter for today's discourse is magic of advertising. Advertising intrigues, it interests, it spells magic, it tells about brands. That's one side of the story. The other side of the story is that there are lots of allegations, critiques against advertising, that it makes you buy things which you may not need in life. It builds stereotypes and reinforces them. It's little unfair to the fair sex, to the women. It uses children which it should not be using. It uses surrogate route to advertising for products which we cannot sell under the law, like cigarettes or liquor. The other very interesting aspect of advertising is that it oils the media machinery. It gives revenue to the media machinery, newspapers, radio, television, digital space, which means what? One is that it makes the access to media simpler for us and cheaper for us. But the flip side is that because it supports the media, obviously it has a voice in the editorial content and other content. There's the biggest criticism about advertising, that it controls the edit. So I'll request Hemant to tell you about advertising per se, all that, blood and sweat which goes behind making some great campaigns. He has been part of the McDonald's campaign, he has been part of a number of other campaigns like Nestle and Dabur, Yama, and so many others. For the last almost 20-25 years he has been in the industry. And I'd also like to tell him to also tell you about the issues which concern advertising today. Advertising not what it used to be 20-30 years ago. And if you look at the subject matter, magic of advertising. Now what is magic? Magic, a magician creates a world of make-believe. What is not real? Is it true? So I like him to also unfold that myth. So welcome once again, Hemant. Would you like to do a formal presentation? Would you like to just chat with them for about 45 minutes, then to get Q&A? Wonderful, great. All yours. Yeah. Letter? Sure. We have projection facilities whenever you want. We should.
So if you're interested, I'll show you some stuff also, because it's always good to see than talk in our business. So thank you, Jayashree. It is a great pleasure to come back to IMC. The reason I come back is very selfish. Our industry is fast losing, or rather not gaining. The growth curve in gaining talent is very, very slow. And I have a selfish motive, as is the industry, in helping young people come into the business and enriching the business. The business of communication, as it used to be and as it is today, when I began and as it is today, is hugely different. So all of you have joined mass communication, and there are various aspects of mass communication that you'll be in. You'll be in journalism, in design, in advertising, in PR. And today what is happening is the business of communication, after fragmenting for the last 15-20 years, is all coming together. Today we're not communicating to people, we're actually creating experiences. And those experiences require integration. It requires integration of journalism, PR, advertising, design, activation, digital. So there is one idea that finds an expression in all these mediums to be able to engage with consumers. Jashi's taken you through some of the ills of advertising, and any profession that you choose to go to, advertising or anything else, the practitioners need to be true to themselves and to people who they work for. And when you start getting into a relationship where you only see what benefits you and not what benefits the other person, these things happen in every profession, as it does in ours. So there are enough, and there are councils for it to ensure that these things don't happen. But let me not go there. Let me talk to you about the magic of advertising. So like Jashi said, yes, magic is an illusion. It's a sleight of hand. And that's what creativity is all about. It allows two diverse things to come together to create an idea that engages people. It depends on the power of the idea of how long it engages. So you will see some campaigns, some ideas that interest you and just fade away. And you will see some campaigns that run year after year after year, because that engagement is much more powerful. And as I talk, I must say, I feel a little odd sitting here and you sitting there. I'd much rather walk amongst you. I encourage you to, at any point in time, ask me questions. And if I realize that you're not asking me questions, then I'll ask you questions. Because unless we engage, you won't get much out of this. You know, usually the way I begin most such talks is by saying, good morning. And I wait for a response. Yeah, but we didn't begin the right way. I should have begun a good morning. So yes, thank you. It tells me if the audience is hungry, or are they sated? Have they come with open minds, or have they come because they were asked to come and they have to spend those 2 hours? So why not sit and listen? It's crucial, critical in our business to be hungry. Unless you're hungry, you're not going to go anywhere in life in this business. Because communication is not a profession. Communication is a way of life. You communicate to your parents, you communicate to your children, you communicate to your friends, your peer group, your seniors, and now you're going to be getting into mass communication. It's not very different from interpersonal communication. So what is the magic of communication? And that is true whichever part of communication you belong to, journalism, PR, advertising, or any other way, or any other media vehicle that you're in. This truth about communication doesn't change. Traditionally, people have been talking to people. So there was a time when there wasn't enough of things. So there was just a Fiat and ambassador in this country. There was only one cell phone. There wasn't enough choice. You are born and are growing up in an era where there is choice for everything, where each product or service is equivalent to the other. And that's where truly the magic of communication comes alive. That's when you realize, how can I get someone to interact with my product, service or idea than some other one? Would any of you take a guess if I were to say that advertising or communication is about talking to a large body of people with a purpose? Would that be a correct definition? Talking to a large body of people to communicate your idea. Sounds about right. What do you think? Yeah. Sit. You can talk to me while you sit. So that's the first crucial difference in understanding our business. It's not about talking, it's about communicating. And there is a difference between these two. When you communicate with a purpose. And you want that purpose to be achieved. So you can't simply talk, you need to persuade. You read an article in the newspaper which is talking about any mishap that's happened in society. Let me not go into any specific mishap. Let's talk about the first piece of communication we interact with, which is journalism. So you read a piece in the newspaper about some girl who's had an unfortunate instance. Is that only news? That is actually designed, written to get you to do something about it. No more is the citizenry of any country waiting for their government to do something only. Citizens today across the world believe that they need to take governance, they need to take societal customs into their own hands if they have to live peaceful lives. So that piece of journalism is designed to persuade you to do something. What do? Maybe you pick up a candle and go to Rajghat. That's an action. So it's not simply talking to you, it's persuading you to do something. And if I need to persuade you to do something, it's not important for me only to know what I've got. It's very crucial for me to understand what do you desire? What are your desires? What are your aspirations? What I'm talking about, is it anyway relevant to you? Is it interesting to you? Is it rewarding to you? Is it exciting for you? Because if none of the four things that I mentioned here, even if three of them or two of them are present, it becomes communication. Otherwise it becomes one-way communication. You talk, the other person may or may not listen. They may not respond. They may not understand. They may simply ignore. Or they may actually get antagonized by what you say. Like Jeshri said, there's been a lot of advertising which has antagonized people. That people actually openly rebel against and say, this is not the kind of communication, or this is not the kind of advertising that we like to listen to. So at the heart of persuasion lies my understanding, my deeper understanding of my subject, or the person that I'm talking to. And in our business, and as in the English language, it's called insight. And what we do essentially, we're insight miners. Unless we mine a good insight, no piece of communication becomes engaging. So there are a lot of communication that you may have come across which touch you immediately. And when I say communication, I mean ideas. I don't only mean advertising. So why don't some of you tell me what's the latest idea that has caught your imagination? It need not be advertising, like I said, it could be anything else. Some idea that's caught your imagination? Virtual reality. So what in virtual reality?
The entire experience of whatever I'm seeing, whether it's gaming or it's a movie.
Yeah. That's very interesting. Let's talk about virtual reality. Have you ever experienced virtual reality? And then augmented reality. Yeah. So have you, any of you experienced it? Have you experienced it? How?
I'd like to believe it counts as one. There's this place, Smash in Gurgaon, where they have a game where they make you put glasses and you experience that you're on a roller coaster ride, whereas you're just sitting on a chair which is sort of moving.
Yeah, that's 3D. Yeah. Have you experienced it on your phone? It's captivating the world. And why do you think it's captivating the world? Do any of you catch Pokemons? Do you do Pokemon? You're lucky you've got a Pokestop right outside your college. So do any of you interact with it? Do any of you play it? None of you play it? What level are you? It's a fascinating game. And I tell you, it uses a beautiful insight, that game. And that's how you in life and in your profession will appreciate how ideas persuade human behavior. Pokemon Go, as it existed 20 years ago, was a little round ball. It's a plastic ball, open it, it's a computer game. You catch Pokemon on that game, and kids have become couch potatoes. My son, Ishan, that she spoke about, he had a Pokeball and he was a couch potato. To sit inside the house and just keep playing that game all the time. And it was disgusting. When young kids should be going out and playing, you're sitting inside and just going with Pokemon. And soon the craze went away with age, and that game went away. And then they brought Poke cards, which was about exchanging. That also lasted for a few years and it went away. And in reinventing that game, what are the ideas that they're talking about? What are young people doing nowadays if they're staying home? What if a game can actually get them to go out, experience their surroundings, get to understand what's around them, and actually go out and play in virtual reality? That would be an exciting experience. That sounds very, very expensive. But look at the beautiful way they've cracked it with a game, where Pokemon are available across the country. You actually had to go out and walk. And today I go on a walk every morning and every night with my sons, and it's delightful. When they want to walk, they want to go out, they want to go to different places, simply because they can catch Pokemon. It's great for parents because they realize the kids are out, they walk. And as with everything good is the evil aspect of it. People are dying as they play Pokemon Go. People are getting robbed because you put lures in weird areas and you get people to come into those lures and you rob them. That's happening across the world. But like I said, people with evil intention exist in every category, in every profession. Profession is not to blame for it. It's individuals who misuse what the profession allows you to do. You like to do that. So I was talking to you about insight and what insight helps you to do. It helps you to persuade people. But why do you need to persuade people? Any case, why do you need to persuade people?
Because they listen to you only then.
So why do you want them to listen to you? Sorry? To sell your idea. Yeah. So that's the next progression that our business is going into, which is, it's not as important to sell an idea as it is to engage with an idea. So you will persuade people so they begin engaging with you. Because once you've made a sale, the sale is over. Then there is an after-sale service, if you were to put it in that terms. However, when you engage, that engagement is constant. And it's important to understand this in a very simplistic manner. In our business, there are no formulas for anything. However, there is a formula for thinking. And it's an open secret in our business. Why I call it an open secret is because everybody knows it. But very rarely do people use it. Because in the humdrum of work, in deadlines, in getting to get things done, in battling mediocrity around you, you get down to talking and selling. So there's a guy called Simon Sinek. Explore that on the web. You learn more about him and what he does. But he has a very basic principle of the golden circles, which is the what, how, and why of life. And remember, it applies to ideas. So it applies to you. It applies to the brand you work for. It will apply to the brands your brand works for. It will apply to relationship. It applies to everything because it's about communication. Like I said, there are different aspects of communication that you will go through. And you may have already chosen what you specialize in, PR, journalism, or advertising. However, this is common across any medium or any aspect of communication that you are involved in, which is the what, how, and why of life. So if I were to sell you a computer, typically people approach it what, how, and why. So what do I sell? I've got a computer and I've got great specifications for that computer. What do? I make computers. How do I make them? Well, I use X, Y, Z technology, and I've got the best customer care, and I've got great design. Why do you make computers? Because I want to sell. Why should I be interested if you want to sell? If I need a computer, right? But why from you? Like I said, today is an environment where it's a Me Too world. Innovations last not more than 3 to 4 weeks in our world, across categories. You will not find what we used to 15 years ago call a USP, which is a unique selling proposition. It is still maybe taught in books, but differentiation amongst brands was talking about is a history. It doesn't exist, and if it does, for some point in time, it is ephemeral. It goes away very fast. There is no differentiation. The why of the business is a very crucial aspect, and let me explain it to you in the same example. If you were to ask Apple of what they do, they'll begin with the why and not the what. They believe that we believe in changing status quo. We believe in being different. How do we do that? We do that by creating great design, which are user-friendly and very easy to use. And by the way, we make computers. By that logic, you will buy computers, you will buy smartphones, you will buy iPods, you will buy hard disks, because you engaged with Apple, because why they do what they do is more important than what they do. And is this something that a theory of mind that I'm talking about? It is not. It has to do with your brain. There is the neocortex in your brain, the outer brain, which is the Homo sapien brain, which is the latest brain in the body. Is the neocortex. That's the outside of the brain, and inside is the limbic brain. The neocortex is all about rationalization. So it's about understanding numbers. It's about doing calculations. It's about comparisons. It's about hard work. It's about rational stuff, which most people understand quickly. So you see black and you see white and say, yeah, I want white and this is black. So I understand what it is. That's the neocortex brain. The limbic brain is the ancient brain. And the limbic brain has to do with feelings. Feelings like trust, like loyalty. And it is the limbic brain which actually makes decisions, which guides behavior of human beings. So when you talk about the why of what you do, you talk to the limbic part of human beings. You start associating with them. There are so many times that you'll meet people, brands, or even places that you just fall in love with. But there is no reason for it. You can't really place the reason of why you like something so much. You like the color pink. You don't know why you like it, but you like it. And that's the limbic part of your brain deciding for you. That's not the neocortex. The neocortex could say that pink is a very girly color, it should be wearing pink. But some boy might say, but I just love the color pink. We won't discuss what that can lead to. But that's why I'm talking about this steps of questioning, which is what, how, and why. And why are they all three questions? All these three are questions because in our business, you will get to an insight when there are no answers left for your question. That's when you know, yes, I've reached an area which I need to understand. Right through your life, starting now, which I hope you already do, ask questions. Don't worry about how stupid you look, how ignorant you look, how out of mode you will look if you ask a question. Ask questions. But if you don't ask, you will not know. And if you don't know, so what will you do? As you join a profession after your college, you will learn all that is right in the books in our business. You'll get a very, very strong foundation for this business at IMC. And as you move into your professions, you'll realize you won't be able to fall back to your books. Which is why IMC does a great thing of 50%, almost 60% of experience and 40-50% of theoretical knowledge. Because theory stands null when you are in real life and you need to do something about it. So this what, how, and why that I've spoken to you about will move out of your mind the moment you move out of this auditorium. However, when you encounter an opportunity where you need to crack an idea, ask these questions. But if you don't ask, you will not know. And in our profession, unfortunately, because time has become a very, very, very valued commodity. Fewer and fewer organizations invest in training. Well, they may be training modules where you go to an outside place, you spend 3 days, do some workshops. But on-the-job training is something that can only happen if you initiate it. And the only way you will initiate it is not by waiting and wanting to know, is by asking questions. The more you ask, the more you will learn. If you are quiet, remember you are losing opportunity. You are also losing the opportunity of people in your business getting to know you. Your bosses, your colleagues, your peer group will understand who you are when you ask questions. Because remember, you may begin by asking very stupid questions, but the quality of your questions will improve if you continue to ask those questions. If you forget asking questions, if you're too shy to ask questions, if you're too afraid to ask questions, that will be very difficult for you to continue or grow in our business. And remember, don't compare yourself to your peer group anywhere. Because this business, like any other business, is full of mediocrity. So if you start comparing yourself to an immediate peer group around and say, oh, I'm alright, that's not good enough for you, which is why I spoke about hunger earlier. You need to be hungry to replace the people you work for. And you'll only do that if you know, if you perform, and if you're bright, and if you're hungry. I wanted to show you some commercials to just show you what insights can do, and maybe I'll do that before I finish. However, there are people here from journalism, PR and advertising, right? Would you have any questions right now, or should I go on?
Its place. So do you think it's because so many brands are coming up, or what is the main reason behind it that why unique selling, unique ideas are not getting much place now these days?
Yeah, they're surviving on mass. They're surviving on huge volumes. Large volume they have, even at 1%, 0.5% margin, they're able to make money. But these are brands that won't survive time unless they create a relationship. The relationship, if it's only about that I'm cheap, then I'll buy you as long as I can't afford something else. So I've got X4 in my pocket, but I'm dreaming of buying a Samsung. I'm dreaming of buying an Apple. Which is why, as you will understand research and numbers and all, you'll talk about market leadership and who's the market leader in any category. As you understand market leaders, it's crucial to understand who are mind leaders. Because mind leaders are the biggest threat to any market leader in a category. Because most of the people who are engaging with that category are lusting to get the mind leader. There are reasons for which, and most of them obviously is money, that they can't go there. Look at what's happening in the automobile sector. It's a sector that's very, very, very active in terms of engagement with people. And more and more models coming out. Prices are dropping, going up at a point in time. And there is the oldest Indian brand, which is Maruti Suzuki, that's struggling to get into the premium category. So I told Ishan when he joined us, I went to buy a car, I'll get you a Swift. They told me that I'll buy a Maruti over my dead body. So I'll now buy it. Maruti is your car. Then my dad's car. I don't want to buy a Maruti. So I told him, look at the new models that have come up. They're very nice. He said, I know, but it's Maruti. I'm not going to buy a Maruti. There's a huge problem Maruti has of selling cars which are 8 lakhs plus. Below 8 lakhs, they're ruling the market. But when it comes to 8 lakh plus, they have problems selling. And what would Honda do? Honda came with it came with the City. It was an expensive car. But as soon as they went in, and it was the mind leader. As soon as they went into lower, cheaper models, they started getting picked up. Tell me the last ad of Honda you remember. They started doing advertising with Jazz, I must say, but that's one automobile manufacturer which spends the least amount of money in advertising. They don't need to. There are people who want to own that brand. As soon as they're able to get the technology that allows them to sell at that price, then enough takers for it. Is there any other question? Yeah, come after her.
Sir, at the start of your talk, you said that the advertising industry as such is seeing sort of slow down in newer talent and newer people coming into the industry. And I would like to know why you think that is, considering the fact that with more and more products in the market and everything, everybody would need more and more advertising and PR facilities. So why is it, in your opinion, that people are slowing, like people don't want to come into the industry anymore?
So why do I think that there is not enough talent?
As a copywriter, and I really enjoyed what I did. Because I'd always been creatively inclined. I thought I thought I'd just give it a shot, and I enjoyed it, and so I ended up here eventually because I was told this is like the best place to go to for it.
So what do you believe in?
Believe it, it's exactly.
I mean, if you write copy, and
Yeah.
you get or let's ask it differently. What will kill your enjoyment?
Sitting at a desk job from 9 to 5 with absolutely nothing spontaneous happening around me.
Yeah, well, you realize when you start working in an agency, I say that, but I think it's important to say the generation today is used to getting things. There's no need to wait for things. It should happen quickly. So when you join a profession, you'd like to get promoted very quickly. You'd like more money very quickly. Because what you do is very good. You believe it is very good. And before a lot of people are able to take on responsibilities, they are given those responsibilities and they burn out. And I've seen so much of it happening, but very little you can do about it. A 5-year-old person in the business comes to me and said that, I'm very good. And if I don't get 30% more, I'm going to another job which is giving 30% more. So I tell them, fine, good, we'll hire someone else, look for someone else. And that's why I asked you, what do you believe in? When you join any profession that you join, you need to believe in some things that are true for you. And not do them because if you don't do them, you lose your job. It can happen, you can lose your job. If you don't believe in what the organization believes in. But if you believe the organization believes in something that you don't like, it's time to move. Because very soon you will. The moment you start thinking of it as a job, you stop enjoying it, you stop working in it, you'll be a 9 to 5 person. So to answer your question, a lot of people in our business move out of the business very fast because they believe that the pace that they were looking for in terms of growth is just not there. And our business is a very curious business. It's not about how old you are. It's not about how many years have you done in this business for you to get promoted or for you to get influence. It is how passionate are you? How good are you? How much productivity can you produce? But if you're a hugely productive person, sky is the limit in our business. You can actually continue to grow. It can burn you out, but you can continue to grow. And to balance that is a very, very crucial thing. Because remember, as you get into any profession, you're in the business of communication. Don't forget to communicate to your family, to your friends, to your peer group. In trying to do mass communication, don't forget that there are people who would want to communicate to you also. Because the moment you dissociate yourself from life, very soon, if you're lucky, and very late, if you're unlucky, you realize that you're not enjoying yourself at all. Because life is not about mass communication at all, is it? Life is about enjoying yourself. Life is about doing something that you believe that you'd want to do. I had a young kid who came to us from McKinsey. And he said, I know you can't offer me the job or the money that McKinsey gives me, but I hate McKinsey. I don't want to go through those charts anymore. I don't want to go through that anymore. I don't mind working hard, but I'd like to create something. In McKinsey, I don't create anything. I create more wealth for someone else. Like here, so I'm not saying vacancy is a bad job, it's a great job. But you need to understand who you are. Everybody is not good at everything. And that you must realize that. And that is something that will come alive to you when you join our business. Because you soon realize that you're not good at everything. Nobody is good at everything. Which is why there's a concept of a team. And Bill Bernanke, some 40, 50 years ago, introduced this concept of a team, where a copywriter and art director work together. Initially, art directors used to work in a pool, and copywriters used to work in a pool. And there's a good idea that's happened, they track the line, it goes to the art director pool, and they'll start creating design around it. And he said, unless these people communicate, unless they talk, no good idea is going to come out. So today when we have teams, when we create integrated teams, there are people who are from servicing, who are from creative, who are from media, who are from activation, who are from PR, who are from digital. And lucky for us, actually Publicis is, as Jeshri says, it's one of the third largest global groups in the world. Today in India, we have every facility under the roof, under one roof. In my office, I have all these facilities. So I ensure that my teams engage with each other. So when there's an important idea to be cracked on a strategy or creative, I ensure that all these people come together, because not any one of them can give or expression to an idea in all other areas. So it's very important to be able to understand the concept of a team, to understand how teams actually help improve an idea. So, to answer your question once again, the reason we don't have enough good people is because people believe mediocrity is very good and I need to grow faster than I should. Than I should is what they don't feel. They say I need to grow faster, and in that they burn themselves. So I see CVs of people who've done 8 jobs in 3 years. So do you think I'd call that person for an interview?
प्रचार किया जाता है कि आप कोई भी क्रीम लगाएंगे 7 हफ्ते में खूबसूरत हो जाएंगे। तो मेरा पहला सवाल यह है कि क्या 7 हफ्ते में आप खूबसूरत होने के बाद आपकी ज़िंदगी खूबसूरत हो जाती है? दूसरी चीज़ ये कि अभी विद्या बालन एक प्रचार कर रही हैं आकाशवाणी और दूरदर्शन पर, वो कहती हैं कि अगर एक नई शादी होती है और वो महिला अपने घर जाती है और वहाँ शौचालय नहीं होता है, फिर वो शादी तोड़ के वापस आ जाती है। तो कहीं ना कहीं आप क्या दिखाना चाहते हैं कि एक समाज में आप शादी तोड़ना ही शौचालय बनाने का प्रमुख कारण क्या है? हम शादी तोड़ दें तो शौचालय बन जाएगा। तो कहीं ना कहीं ये लगता है ना कि विज्ञापन वालों को भी ये समझना चाहिए कि हम समाज को ध्यान में रखते हुए ऐसा कुछ करें जिसपे समाज पे ज़्यादा नकारात्मक ना पड़े। तो उस पर आपकी क्या राय है?
इस कैटेगरी में, क्रीम की कैटेगरी, डव का अगर आप एक कमर्शियल देखें, मैं देखता हूँ मेरे पास हो मैं दिखाऊंगा आपको, जो कि कमर्शियल सिर्फ इसके बारे में है कि सुंदरता जो है वो सिर्फ चेहरे पे कुछ लगाने से नहीं होती, सुंदरता व्यक्ति में होती है। सुंदरता का मतलब नहीं कि आप गोरे हैं और बड़े सुंदर लग रहे हैं, सुंदरता का मतलब कि अच्छे इंसान हैं। तो हर ब्रांड जितनी उसकी समझ है उस हिसाब से कम्युनिकेशन करता है। अगर जनता को लगता है, अगर जितने देश में लोगों को लगता है कि भाई गोरे होने से सुंदरता बढ़ जाती है, इसलिए मुझे क्रीम चाहिए, तो वो विज्ञापन देख के क्रीम खरीदेंगे। इसमें कोई गलत बात है क्या? गलत बात आप कह सकते हैं कि ये है कि आप गोरा होना ही सुंदरता का राज नहीं है। मगर एक लड़की बेचारी बैठी वो सोचती है मेरे को गोरा होना, गोरा ही होना सुंदरता का राज है। उसके माता पिता को समझाना चाहिए ना कि गोरा होना सबसे बड़ी चीज़ नहीं है, उसे दोस्तों अहबाब उनकी सोसाइटी में समझना पड़ेगा। तो एडवर्टाइजिंग बहुत बार जो खराबियां सोसाइटी में होती है उन्हें रिफ्लेक्ट करती है अपने एडवांटेज के लिए। इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि उस एडवर्टाइजिंग की वजह से लोग सोच रहे हैं कि गोरा होना अच्छी बात है। ये तो उनकी माँ को समझाना पड़ेगा, बाप को समझाना पड़ेगा कि गोरे होने से सब कुछ नहीं होता, अच्छा होना ज़्यादा जरूरी है। और ऐसे भी विज्ञापन है जो दिखाते हैं आपको कि गोरा होना या सुंदर लगना क्रीम और इन सब का काम नहीं है। सुंदरता आपके अंदर होनी चाहिए। मॉइस्चराइजर का है सोप का, जैसे कि मॉइस्ट स्किन विल मेक यू ब्यूटीफुल। यू आर ब्यूटीफुल बिकॉज हु यू आर, जो आप हैं उसके लिए आप सुंदर हैं। आप नेट पे सर्च करिएगा, डव ब्यूटी का कमर्शियल है, जिसमें वो एक फास्ट कट्स में दिखाते हैं एक लड़की नॉर्मल लड़की से बिल्कुल ट्रांसफॉर्म हो जाती है। एंड जैसे कि किस तरह एडवर्टाइजिंग में लोग फोटोशॉप एंड वेरियस अदर सॉफ्टवेयर दे यूज टू मेक एन इमेज ब्यूटीफुल। दूसरी बात आपने कही विद्या बालन का जो ऐड है स्वच्छ भारत के लिए कि आपने शौचालय घर में नहीं है तो शादी टूट जाती है, तो वो लिटरली अगर आप उसको समझे, वो मैंने नहीं बनाया है इसलिए मतलब उसको मैं डिफाइन नहीं करना चाहता, मगर जो मैं समझता हूँ उसमें ये नहीं कह रहे हो कि अगर आपके घर में शौचालय उसके घर में नहीं है तो शादी तोड़ दो। वो विद्या बालन से बात नहीं कर रहा है, ना ही उस लड़की से बात कर रहा है वो कम्युनिकेशन। वो कम्युनिकेशन बात कर रहा है हजारों माँ बाप से और उन आदमियों से जो शादी करने वाले हैं, क्योंकि कितनी इज्जत खराब होती है आपकी अगर आपकी शादी टूट जाए क्योंकि आपके घर में शौचालय नहीं है। तो उस आदमी से बात कर रहे हैं, उसके घर वालों से बात कर रहे हैं कि अपने घर की इज्जत अगर आपको बढ़ानी है या इज्जत रखनी है तो घर में एक शौचालय होना चाहिए। बाहर की कोई लड़की आती है वो बाहर जाए शौच करने कितना खराब है, तो वो उससे बात कर रहे हैं। टारगेट ऑडियंस वो है। बहुत बार जब हम कम्युनिकेशन बनाते हैं तो जरूरी नहीं है कि जो टारगेट है जिससे बात कर रहे हैं आप वो कम्युनिकेशन में हो। एक बहुत पुराना SBI लाइफ का ऐड है, एक बहुत ही बूढ़ा आदमी एक बहुत ही बूढ़ी औरत के लिए हीरे की अंगूठी लाता है और वो बोलते हैं कि अरे इतनी महंगी अंगूठी मेरे लिए क्यों लाया, मैं मतलब मुझे क्यों, मेरे लिए क्यों इतनी महंगी अंगूठी, मैं क्या करूँगा इसका, मैं तो इतनी बुढ़ी हो गई। तो आदमी बोलता है अरे पगली हीरा को क्या मालूम तुम्हारी उम्र क्या है। It is not talking to old people, it's talking to diamond lovers. And it tells them that, whatever your age, a diamond will always be beautiful. And therefore, desire for diamond. तो जरूरी नहीं होता कि हमेशा जिससे आप बात कर रहे हैं उसी को दिखाएं आप। That is called selling. जब persuasion आप करेंगे, if you got a nice insight, तब आप इस तरह बात करेंगे जिससे आप बात कर रहे हैं उसे लग जाए। जैसे लखनऊ में बोलते हैं, जैसे आप किसी को आपको गाली भी देनी है तो वो चांदी का जूता मखमल में लपेट कर मारना चाहिए कि चोट भी लगे और आपके भावा भी गया, क्या स्टाइल है। यू हैड सम क्वेश्चन?
सवाल ये है कि जैसा कि आपने कहा कि मास कम्युनिकेशन, एडवर्टाइजिंग, PR और जर्नलिज्म तीनों को समझ में है। सर मेरा सवाल ये है कि क्या एडवर्टाइजिंग के क्षेत्र में हमारे लिए पत्रकारिता के छात्रों के लिए क्या कोई आगे भविष्य है, और खासतौर से मैं हिंदी पत्रकारिता के छात्रों को मैं ये पूछना चाहूंगा कि क्या हिंदी पत्रकारिता, हिंदी जर्नलिज्म का एडवर्टाइजिंग के क्षेत्र में कोई भविष्य है?
Now for the last few years we have been seeing that when we play a video on YouTube, there's a 5-second ticker after which the video starts getting played. So how tough does it become for a copywriter and how does he deal with it, that he was selling a product yesterday in 30 seconds and now he has to sell it in 5 seconds?
Sir, as you said that USP of a brand as of now is to do something new and sell it. But sir, there are also some brands which are holding their repute for some common traits and people still now go and follow them blindly. So sir, what is the main X factor for a brand to do something new or follow that old pattern only? Because sir, sometimes the new experiments also fail desperately. We have seen that in the latest times.
Consistently over a period of time, the only thing they say is utterly buttery delicious. One is Coke. Coke launched the new Coke. I don't know how many of you are aware of it. They launched a new Coke and it was
You are here for Yes.
Proposed the Tesla market, and even though the Elon Musk survived in the market and he introduced the Model S, and it got 15 million.
You will come to the question soon, I think.
Yeah. My question is, there is no advertisement, future for advertisement in automobile.
Both in India and abroad. But communication for cars will not stop simply because car is a very you said you're an engineer. A car is a very complicated piece of equipment. It's not easy for people to understand it. You will always need communication for people to understand why that car is good enough for you. So, whenever and that's how advertising began. It began because people needed information. Someone sitting in America had no idea what was happening in Japan or what a Japanese car was. It was only communication got close to a Japanese car, and the Japanese car industry took over the US. It was communication only which got Ford back because of invoking the American pride. So automobile communication is very, very active, both internationally and in India. Tesla may not have invested in communication. I have not read that case study seriously. However, Tesla is an electric car, is non-paid media. So that as you get into the business, you'll understand the thing of earned media and paid media. Earned media is media that actually talks about you because you're so interesting. So a lot of people have already spoken about Tesla on that. I will not answer as long as...
From AdPR. So my question is not advertising is also a type of advertising? Like brands like Zara and Rolls-Royce don't advertise.
Only products of advertising via word of mouth, like Pulse Candy.
Like?
Pulse Candy. So according to your opinion, how much of a future does that have in advertising for products which can go on a larger scale rather than FMCG products? Also, my second question would be, you mentioned how we have to, while communicating, we have to know what the audience wants as well. Then ma'am also began with a point that one of the possible vices of advertising is that we sell an idea in such a way that consumers end up purchasing things which they didn't know that they wanted, or maybe they did. So as an advertising professional, how do you manage to have an upper hand on the status quo? So these two will be my questions.
It's so difficult to show a more realistic interpretation of blood in sanitary napkin ads. Why do they show like a blue liquid falling on the tap instead of a red liquid perhaps?
You know, there was a girl called Kiran who started it from Patiala and probably did that marathon without the pad in London. So there are people who are, you know, if you want to read more about it, you can read that campaign called Happy to Clean. You will get more insights into it.
And they have new versions of their products. Like they have new versions silver, Lifebuoy silver. So how difficult is it for advertisers to promote the same thing? I mean, after some time, consumer will take the bluff. No, they will guess it. It all is bluff. Like the earlier product was also getting 99.9 germs, and even this is doing that. How difficult it is to create such ads and make sure that the consumer falls into the bluff that we are creating.
Very difficult. Kumbh. So in the Kumbh, what Lifebuoy did was, they made a stencil ki haath dho lijiye. And they took that stencil and gave it to a number of them. They gave it to all the people who are making rotis. A lot of people eat there. The Kumbh, that's what you do. So each roti, they said, when you make the roti, just put the stencil once on it and take it off. So 80% of the rotis in the Kumbh read haath dho lijiye from Lifebuoy. And that's a very nice message from a brand. It didn't say Lifebuoy anywhere. But I don't think haath dho lijiye was a line. The line was the brand line. But it had no message of the brand. I simply said, clean your hands, because why should I buy Lifebuoy? But it believes in cleanliness. 99.9% is a proof of that. That's not the reason I'll buy it. I'll buy it because I believe Lifebuoy believes in cleanliness. And it's been doing that with that dirty red bar before I was born. And therefore I trust it. Therefore they put some perfume in it so it doesn't smell like it. But people still like that smell because psychologically you feel, when that smell comes from my hand, I'm clean. So Lifebuoy believes in cleanliness and believes fervently in it, which is why that brand has not only survived, but just thrived. So 99.9 is only a support of that. It's not the reason why.
और मेरा सवाल जो अभी मैगी विवाद के बारे में सवाल किया गया उससे जुड़ा हुआ है, जो ब्रांड एम्बेसडर्स हैं उनकी जिम्मेदारी तय की जानी चाहिए, ऐसा आपका मानना है। मैं ये जानना चाहती हूँ, जैसे आपने बताया कि उसके बाद से बहुत सारे ब्रांड एम्बेसडर्स अपने प्रोडक्ट के बारे में जानकारी लेने लगे हैं और बहुत ज़्यादा जागरूक हो गए हैं कि उनके ऊपर तो कोई जिम्मेदारी नहीं आती है। मैं ये जानना चाहती हूँ कि क्या एड एजेंसीज कंपनी से किसी तरीके का कोई क्वेश्चनिंग करती हैं कि अगर कुछ नुकसान तो नहीं होता है, या अपने नैतिक तरीके से भी क्या किसी तरीके की क्वेश्चनिंग करती है? और दूसरा सवाल मैं जनरलाइज नहीं करना चाहती हूँ, लेकिन एक शैम्पू का ऐड आता है जिसमें एक एक्ट्रेस है जो खुले तौर से मतलब बाकायदा कहती है कि जिसका आपका भरोसा जिस पे हमारा भरोसा, उसका भरोसा कैंटीन पे। तो वो डेफिनेटली स्क्रिप्टेड है, तो वो जो एड एजेंसी हैं, जो कॉपीराइटर्स हैं, वो लिखते हैं, तो क्या कहीं ना कहीं एड एजेंसीज की भी एक जिम्मेदारी तय की जानी चाहिए? धन्यवाद।
कि इसको कीजिए, इसको छोड़ दीजिए, लेकिन अब कोई भी चीज़ दिखा रहे हैं कि टूथपेस्ट में नीम की मिलावट है, इसको कीजिए, तो सर इसका जिम्मेदार कौन है? तीसरा सवाल ये है सर कि कोई भी काबिल एतराज़ चीज़ें जो ऐड की जाती हैं तो 2-4 दिन में तो उसका काम हो जाता है, उसके बाद फिर उससे जो कार्रवाइयाँ होती हैं, तो कोई ऐसा कानून बनाना चाहिए कि उनको एंट्री ना होना चाहिए, तो सर इसका जिम्मेदार कौन है?
That we had about the what and the how and the why. So when we look at Yahoo as a company that failed, according to me, predominantly the reason was the failure of the why, as you had explained. Do you agree? And secondly, how would you, as someone from the field, how would you have done it differently?
Woman says, it's a detergent ad. This woman says, मेरे पति तो मेहनत का काम करते हैं, कॉलर तो गंदा हो गए. And on the other hand, I see this aerial ad where this father goes to his daughter's place and then he sees her working, doing laundry and washing dishes. And then he goes back home and apologizes to his wife about why all this while he had not been doing those things, household chores. So my question to you is that you talked about the limbic part of human brain. These both advertisements are connecting emotionally. But I think there is a responsibility of advertisers, advertisements, that they inject values in the minds of people. In a time where we should go progressive, why are some advertisements going backward?
Some niceties and request to our DG to please present a vessel plant to him so that he expresses witness like a vessel plant. And there's a coffee mug on your behalf, and he takes coffee, it's a golden jubilee coffee mug, and you see. Yes.